Hello, Erica here from Me to You Paper Crafts, and today I'm going to be making a Valentine's card for my daughter, and I'm going to use soft pinks, and the feature part of this card is a watercolor background piece. So to start with, I have a Whisper White card base, just an A2 card base, which is 8.5 by 11, cut in half at 4 1/4, because I want it to be this style opening card. And then I use the new Hearts embossing folder, which is in the 2015 Occasions catalog. It's just a lovely textured folder, particularly for Valentine's, but would be great for weddings or birthdays. And so I cut this out to measure 4 by 5 1/4, so it'll layer nicely onto the card base. And then for my watercolor piece, I cut this at 3 by 3 1/2. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to watercolor this background. Now when you watercolor, honestly, you really have no control over the results. You just do what you think is right and you hope for the best. So I'm going to pull out this craft sheet. This is a great sheet for doing watercoloring on because it wipes off. It's also great for embossing as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a new technique, or well, it's not a new technique, it's been around forever, but you take one of your acrylic blocks, and then I've chosen 3 Stampin' Write markers. I've chosen Calypso Coral, Melon, Mambo, and Rose Red. And I'm going to start with the lightest one, and you just scribble a little bit on your marker. And then I'm going to take my spritzer. It just has a bit of water in there, and I'm just going to spritz some water on that. And first thing I'm going to do also is spritz water on my piece of cardstock here and get it fairly wet, because you want the watercolors to run. Now the paper will start to warp a little bit, but you can fix that once you start to dry it with your heat embossing tool. Now hang on, I had my watercolor brush and it's disappeared on me. What did I do with it? Found it. These come in a 2-pack. One comes with a larger brush and the other with a finer brush. So I'm going to use the larger brush here to apply my color. So now I'm just going to pick up my color and I'm just going to start applying it, and it's really pale, and I probably shouldn't have put water on the block as well. So I'm just going to get rid of the water, and I'm going to add more of the color. Let's see. Oh, it's really pale. The other thing to know is that, no, we're going to need way more. The other thing to know is when watercolors dry, they will dry lighter. I'm starting to think this crisp cantaloupe is a little bit too light. But it's getting some color in there. There we go. Now with watercolor paper, the wonderful thing about it is that it can handle a lot of water. So you don't have to worry about the paper pilling. If I just put some marker on directly on my mat, see what happens. Not much difference. All right, we're getting a little bit more color now. You just have to be patient. If you want the crisp cantaloupe, you'll have to be a little bit patient. Okay, so let's add a little bit of the lighter pink. This is the Melon Mambo. Let me turn my block over so it's dry. And that comes out quite nicely. And let's add some of that. There we go. And I just want to create sort of like a, I don't know, striped background maybe. We're getting a bit more color now. But the crisp cantaloupe is showing through the back. I think it looks quite pretty. Okay. Alright. Now another fun thing to do is to flick color onto, or you can actually you can spray color. Now I think I have a pink color. To be honest with you, I don't remember what color it is. Probably Melon Mambo, but these Stampin' Spritzers are great. You can purchase a whole bunch of them, and then you fill it up with a little bit of water and then add some re-inker, just about 3 drops or 4 drops of re-inker. So let's see what happens when I spritz this on. There we go. And the other thing, because it's really wet, let's try just taking the actual marker and just dabbing some dots in there. Let's see. Oh, see, it spreads where there's some water. And you could spritz it again, maybe with the clear water, and see if you can spread those around a bit. There we go. And then another thing you can do is pick up your paper and then just start moving the color around. Now that piece is quite wet. I'm going to try and dry it up with my heat tool, but I'll come back and show you the results. So I've dried my watercolor paper, and I did dry it from both sides just to try and cut down on the warping. And again, one other thing you could do, if it's warped a little bit too much, you can just put it under your iron and iron it. So I can see the crisp cantaloupe, even though it was really cool, even though it was really, what's the word I'm looking for, pale, it did come through, and I like the pink that's added to it, but I still want it to be a little bit more vibrant. So the next thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to put some of the darker pink, this is the rose red pink, on my block again. I'm going to put lots of color on there. And I'm going to pick that color up. I'm going to put some water in my brush, so you just squeeze it to get some water going. And I'm going to pick up some water and I'm going to flick it. So I'm just going to sort of tap the brush. There you go. And you get some really interesting flicks on that. So I'm going to dry that again with the heat tool, and I think we're ready to move on to our next step. I don't think this watercolor piece, there's not enough contrast between the pale pink background and this. And I'm also going to be adding some punched out hearts using the Sweet Heart Punch. And I decided to use this paper from the new Valentine paper pack. It's actually called Stacked with Love. Look at this. It's got these amazing papers for Valentine's Day, but I just love the black pieces. So if you don't use it all up for Valentine's Day, then you can certainly look at this black stripe for like a French theme, and oh, I love this one. So there's lots of paper choices in there for other occasions during the year. So I pulled this out and it kind of looks like there's basic gray in there, even though basic gray is not listed as one of the colors for the paper stack. But I'm going to trim this piece to put around my watercolor piece. Just 1/8 of an inch is all I'm going to trim it to. Okay, there's my piece, and look, I think that really adds something to it. Now, to adhere this down, I'm going to use fast fuse because we need a really strong adhesive on here because it is a little bit warped from watercoloring it. So let's stick that down. Oh, I think I want my splatters in the upper right hand corner. So sorry if my head gets in the way, but you can really line up your paper better if your eyes are right over it. Okay, and then while we're at it, let's stick this piece of pink to the base. Now, when I do an emboss, oh boy, I kind of look at that side. Can you see that? I might like that better than this side. Yeah, I'm going to use this side. So when I emboss a piece of paper, I like to use Tombow glue. It gets into all the little edges and cracks. Make sure your card's oriented the right way. I've done that before. Put it in on upside down, and that's no good. Okay. You know, if your Tombow glue ever, I don't know what the word is, swidge out from underneath the paper, then I have a, and Stampin' Up! Of course sells it. It's a little eraser, and it takes it takes tape runner off. So you know, if you're taping down pieces of paper and you get, you know, gluey bits, like there's a little gluey bit on my paper, I can just rub it right off. It's just a great tool. I use it all the time. And so once that's dry, I'll be able to erase that right off the cardstock. Alright, so I'm not quite sure yet if I'm going to add some ribbon or not, so I'm not going to stick this piece down. But what I want to do now is I want to punch out with this. I love this Sweetheart punch. I'm going to punch out one of these circles, or circle, what am I saying? One of these hearts. And I think I will, let's see what the back is, the black. I don't know if I care for the black so much, but maybe I'll take a piece of the gray and punch that. I don't have a larger piece here, so let's use a smaller heart. I have a small heart punch somewhere here. I'm going to punch out a couple of these. You might have guessed by now, I did not pre-plan this card. This is a wing it card. I had some ideas in my head. One of the other ideas in my head is I want to put on some vellum hearts. So this is some scrap vellum I have. So I'm going to punch out a couple of vellum hearts. And then I love embossed vellum, so I'm going to throw this through an embossing folder and emboss those because it makes them a little bit, it gives it a little bit of an etched glass look. So let me go and do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I have punched out a couple of the hearts out of vellum and I threw them through the dots embossing folder, and they give these little raised dots. Hope you can see them, they're so cute. So I'm going to add those on the card. I pulled out some silver glimmer because I thought with the basic gray in there, the silver glimmer would be really pretty. So I'm going to punch out a couple of, maybe just one silver glimmer heart. Alright, now let's see. I want a little greeting, sort of like here, I think. So I've picked out this, just a simple love you. This is from it was a hostess kit called Express Yourself. It's all in script writing. I just love it. It's got a variety of sayings on here. So I'm going to use this love you. So I've got a piece of Whisper White here, and I think I am going to use Memento Black for that. I can't find my Memento Black, so I'm just going to use my basic black ink pad. Love you, there we go. And I'm going to punch it out with my small oval punch. And then I'm going to use my large oval punch, and I think I'm going to frame that in the basic gray. Like that. So I'm just going to glue this flat, and then I'll put a dimensional for the entire label. Oh geez, look at that. It wasn't dry and it's smeared. Yuckadoo. Okay, we'll have to do it again. That's no good. Okay, where's the stamp? Where's the stamp? I just used it. I've got way too much stuff on my desk. Here it is. So let's take out the black again, and I'll just set it aside for a couple of minutes until it dries. I just re-inked this black pad, so it's pretty inky. So let's wait on that. So let's start trying to assemble this card. So this will go here, I think, which will look cool. Now, these hearts. What should I do with these hearts? Should I start with them coming down like this, and then put a little gray heart here maybe, and a little silver heart maybe on top of the greeting? Maybe I'll actually fold this heart so that it sticks up a little bit. Let's try that. Yes, I like that. Let's do this one too. Just give it a slight crease in there. Ooh, maybe tuck them in, the little corners. Oh, I'm really starting to like it. What do you think? Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So let's start assembling. So again, I'm going to use, let's hope I remember. Sometimes when I assemble a card like that, before I stick everything down, you can take a photo with your phone, and then you'll have your design, just in case you get distracted or you have to run off and answer the phone or something. Again, I'm going to use Tombow glue because I'm mounting this piece on top of an embossed piece. We'll tuck that that into the bottom, like so. And I think this glue is dry, so I'm going to use my little eraser and get rid of that. Perfect. Okay, now we'll start doing our hearts. Now to glue my hearts, it's vellum. Sometimes tape runner will show through vellum, so I think I'm just going to try using a bit of two-way glue. Let's see. I'll just do a few little dots on there. Now it will dry clear, don't panic, because it's looking pretty blue right now, but it will dry clear. So there's one heart. Oh, maybe I'll fold this one up a little bit. And we're going to tuck this one under here like that. And then we'll do our third vellum. Whoops, that's not stuck down yet. Just hold it for a couple more seconds. Alright, and then let's tuck this third one in here, like that. Alright, let's see if our greeting is ready to be punched out. Let's hope it's dry. Should be dry. Should only take a few seconds to dry, really. I won't put my fingers on top of that. I'll just rub it on with another piece of paper in case I've got something yucky on my fingers. Okay, there's my love you. Now I'm going to throw on a couple of dimensionals. Let's grab those. Put that just about there, like that. Alright, and now for our additional little hearts. Put one like that. And I'll put this little silver one on the greeting. Now, you always do things like flower arranging, you should do odd numbers. So I've got 3 of the large hearts, that's great. I've only got 2 of the small hearts. So I think I'm going to punch out one more gray heart. And now just decide where I'm going to put it. Maybe right there. And it all depends on your own placement Every card can look different. There we go. So there's our finished card. I hope you like it. When I design on the go, the videos do take a little bit longer. I'll try and edit as much out as I can. And if you like my video, please like it on YouTube, and all of the supplies and description of how I made this card will be included on my blog. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.